Texas is currently ranked 18th in the country, but they are looking for more. Today, we're taking a look at key targets for the Longhorns, who's trending up and who's trending down. So let's bring on Gerry Hamilton of Inside Texas. Gerry, we got some good news, but first we're going to start with somebody that is not trending towards Texas, and that's Danny OKOYE. And one of the reasons he's not trending towards Texas is your fault. You put in a prediction this week for him to go to the Oklahoma Sooners. Gerry, what's up with that?
First-time Sooner fans have liked the pick of mine, I guarantee you that. But look, I think his mom making his official visit to Oklahoma for the first game of the season, his mom was on that trip with him. She had not been on any other trips, Josh. We'll see now how long that recruitment goes. And he's made visits. He made a June official visit to Texas. She did not go. He was at LSU. He was at Alabama. He's been to Tennessee. This is really the first time she's gotten involved in the recruiting process from a visit standpoint. Now we're going to see how much longer this recruitment's going to play out. He's scheduled to be at Texas September 16th for the Wyoming game. He's scheduled to be at Tennessee September 30th and maybe LSU on the 23rd as well. We'll see how long this one plays out, but this was the first visit Mom's been on, and she's not one that's big on travel, and she liked the schools closer to home in Oklahoma State you're at, but that was not going to happen.
All right, well, we'll see how much further that recruitment goes, but if Danny OKOYE is trending towards Oklahoma, does it make the recruitment of edge Solomon Williams even that much more important?
You know, that's a great question, Josh. There's Texas as PK, the D coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski, remains in contact with Solomon and the coaching staff at Carrollwood Day there in Tampa. They continue to talk about an official visit date. Official visit date hasn't been set up as of Monday late afternoon, so we'll see what transpires there. Alabama's been considered the favorite for Solomon coming out of the visit process this summer. He's scheduled to be in Tuscaloosa Saturday for the big game, Texas at Alabama. A&M and Oregon are also very much in play there with Solomon Williams. So we're going to have to see if that official visit date gets set up, or does Colin Simmons and Zena both committed to Texas? Is that too much for Texas to overcome?
All right, let's talk about one five-star recruit that is trending heavily in Texas's direction. That's five-star cornerback Kobe Black. But is there something to be concerned about? How much of a threat is LSU with an official visit this weekend where Kobe Black will be in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, Kobe's scheduled to be in Baton Rouge for that official visit. That one's been scheduled for a while. I think Texas A&M is the number 2 team right now to Texas. Kobe was at Oklahoma State last weekend. Obviously, his brother plays there, plays corner, plays defensive back for the Cowboys. I think right now A&M is the number 2 team. We'll see, can LSU do enough on this weekend's official visit to maybe be a real threat. But right now, I think it's Texas A&M. Texas leads Texas A&M.
I think Texas fans just want this recruitment to be over because it's felt like forever that Kobe Black has been favoring Texas. But if you let these other teams hang around long enough and then take some visits, anything can happen. Is there any chance that Texas can get this closed out before, well, we know he's going to go to LSU this weekend, but maybe before A&M can get him back on campus?
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, A&M and Alabama are still fighting for official visits, have some dates out there for official visits. That's the question. He's gone from probably committing in December to now, it could be in the month of September. We'll see how this plays out. But I think people around Kobe Black would also like this recruitment to end. But I do know Kobe Black wants to go take his visits and go to some college games because he knows this process is coming to an end soon for him and as an early enrollee.
That's understandable. All right, now we're going to talk about five-star offensive tackle Brandon Baker. He isn't necessarily trending away from Texas. He's not necessarily also trending towards Texas. He's actually trending towards Oregon if you look at the recruiting prediction machine. But the Longhorns consistently kind of chip away at that lead. They now have 25% of the recruiting prediction machine for the Longhorns. How do you feel about where things stand between Brandon Baker and Texas right now?
I think if this thing comes down to a final 2, when he's sitting at the dinner table with his family, Texas is going to be in that final 2. The question is it going to be Oregon, as many expect, or could it be Ohio State? He's got the Nebraska visit on September 16th. That one will be interesting to me to see how much of a dent Nebraska can make. I still think this one's trending towards a Texas-Oregon decision. from everything I hear, but I'm not going to count Ohio State out of that mix. He hasn't been on campus at Oregon in a while now. He's been to Texas twice. Obviously made the official visit to Ohio State in June. But I think Texas continues to receive some positive feedback there, but this is a long way from over.
All right, now we're going to switch it up to five-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo. 46% of the recruiting prediction machine says Missouri, 25% to Texas. Gerry, you buying this Missouri hype around Ryan Wingo?
I think it's interesting that he didn't jump on like Williams Nwaneri and commit to Missouri after that new legislation came out. I think that's interesting to me. But I think one of the reasons is he's got to visit the Texas September 16th. That would be his third trip to Texas in about a year and a half. I think that will be a huge visit for Texas and for Wingo. I think in the next week or so, we might hear about a date coming out, more of a timeline for his decision. Mm-hmm. It's been December, but there's been some questions about that. I think a big thing with this recruitment right now, he's been scheduled to go to Tennessee September 30th. Does he actually make that trip? I think right now it's Texas versus Missouri battle. I think Sarkisian, Chris Jackson, they've done a really good job there. I think Ryan Wingo can envision himself playing and being a student athlete at Texas, no different than he can at Missouri. So I think the Texas visit will be huge. And does he take that visit to Tennessee at the end of September? That will tell us a lot about where this recruitment's headed from a timeline perspective.
Yeah, I definitely felt like after Williams Nwaneri committed to Missouri, it was like kind of a no-brainer. Oh, well, then they're going to also land Ryan Wingo, one of the best players in the state. But as it kind of goes on, I'm not so sure about that. One last five-star I want to talk to you about, and that's Micah Hudson. This is kind of like the reverse Kobe Black. He's been trending to Texas Tech heavily since June. I mean, it's almost kind of a foregone conclusion that Texas Tech was going to land him. But then July comes, he doesn't commit. August comes, he still hasn't committed. Now here we are in September. Is there anything Texas can do to land the number one wide receiver in the state of Texas?
I think the longer this plays out, the better it is for Texas and Texas A&M. Texas has maintained contact with Micah Hudson throughout all of this, even when it looked like it was imminent he was going to commit to Texas Tech this summer. The one thing about Micah is once everybody thinks he's going somewhere, he tends to push back on that. The other thing that's interesting about Micah, Josh, is all these kids that initially said they were going to commit in December or at an All-America game in January, 99% of those kids have peeled off of that. Is he going to be the one that doesn't? If he doesn't, that's a long time for Texas Tech to have the target on their back, especially when it's Texas and Texas A&M coming after him.
Absolutely. All right, Gerry. Well, hopefully for Texas fans, this video here, this was just a distraction to get you to the big game this weekend. Texas versus Alabama on the road in Tuscaloosa. So no, Texas is not hosting any recruits, but Gerry Hamilton, recruiting never stops. Thanks for stopping by today on the Inside Scoop.
You got it, Josh.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. And remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.